Hey there, it's been, what, 3-4 months since my last book haul, so I have a bunch to make up for that. Cumulative, I'm not even going to count. Let's just say there are several used bookstores, thrift store, Amazon, library book sale. There's a bunch. And I'm not going to put them in any order. I'm just going to go with it because there are so many, and I don't want this to be 20 minutes long. First batch I'll just show you I got from a new bookstore, new to me used bookstore. They opened last year. I had never heard of them, and a coworker asked if I had ever been, and I said, no, where have I been? And so last Saturday before I visited my mom, I stopped there and thought I was lost because it was in just this most random of places. And I will definitely go back because most of their books are anywhere between $1 and $3, so I made out like a fat rat. I think for the most part mine were the dollar books. I dug around in the dollar bin. But the first one I got is Shogun by James Clavell. I'm sure everybody knows about this. It's massive, and it would have been a good idea to read it for Tome Topple, but I was not all about a huge chunky book. It's one of those things I can't be put on a deadline to read a huge book. It has to be mood. I am very much a mood reader. This is why you will never, rarely ever see me do a TBR, because if I have assigned reading, it kills the joy for me. So I just like picking as I'm in the mood. This one's pretty beat up. I'm going to have to try to packing tape, if you can see. But I have the ebook, and I know that's stupid. Why, Lindsay, did you spend $1 on a physical copy? Because I like keeping up in a physical copy while I'm reading an ebook to feel like I'm making progress, because sometimes I can't feel that way in an ebook, even though it will tell you the percentage. I just like knowing. Then we have Elizabeth Berg's The Year of Pleasures, another dollar book. This one apparently is was she a widow? Yes, a widow that moves to a small town, and the relationships that she develops in this small town while she's dealing with her grief. The Vacationers by Emma Straub. And I was actually really surprised. I thought it was a mistake that this was in the dollar bin, but I guess so because it's a little bit beat up. I think it's relatively new, 2014. Basically, a family goes on vacation and secrets and rivalries emerge. So it's supposed to be this nice, happy, relaxing time, and it's not. So should be good. Pictures of Hollis Woods. I have, for some reason, thought I have heard of this. I've at least seen it. Another dollar book. Basically a 12-year-old girl hopping foster home to foster home and in trouble, and probably her getting on track in life. So I could sit down and read this in no time. Then we have The Black Book by James Patterson and David Ellis. I don't read as many James Patterson books as I used to, just because there are so many and I fell so far behind. I don't feel like I'll ever catch up. I am caught up on the Women's Murder Club. I can't tell you how many of the Alex Cross and how many of the Michael Bennett. I have them on my wish list from the library. This I had no clue was even out. Came out October of last year. And if I read James Patterson, more likely I'm to gravitate to standalones. So I was excited to find this for $3. Like I said, relatively new for $3. Little Friend by Donna Tartt. This was in the dollar bin again, which was really surprised. And this is a UK copy, so it's one of the sturdy ones that I always enjoy. Cover is creepy because it's got, if you can see, the eye cut out, and then this really bizarre, like, whoops, insert. Never read Donna Tartt. I think I have ebook of The Goldfinch and another paperback of another of her books that I've done in a haul. The only thing that I'm probably going to have to end up borrowing this from the library ebook is the print is, gee gosh, gee golly, tiny as all get out. I mean, it doesn't look it, but it's small. And it's like 556 pages. Again, Tome Topple, but we won't go there. And then we have Black Boy by Richard Wright. This one is around the civil rights era, actually a little bit before all of the Martin Luther King Jr. And I know that this is going to break my heart because sadly I don't know this person, but I looked on the back and it's got his author photo and then it's his born and death dates, which is premature. So I'm afraid of what this man has. I'm gonna have to be in the right mind frame of this because I know it's gonna have me deep in the feels. But I do want to read it very soon. Oh, did I get a free bookmark of some sort? No, somebody put their card in here. The runner's market. And then Matterhorn by Karl Marlantes. My husband and I watched the Vietnam... Why is my brain dead? Ken Burns, Vietnam, on PBS. And it took us quite a while because it was very lengthy. But he was one that was telling his experiences. And at the end of the series, they say, oh, he was an author. Well, I found this. They only had the audiobook from my library on. They didn't have the ebook. And I tried it, and I'm very squirrely with audiobooks. It has to be the right kind of book. Otherwise, I'm off in La La Land thinking about cleaning the stove, cooking dinner. So I found this for $3. I wasn't even looking. I just saw the blue because it's my favorite color, and I went, oh, it's that book. So of course I had to get it. And again, this is like my Tome Topple haul. It's huge. It's 600 pages. And yes, you can judge me. I've lost count on how many copies of this book that I have. It's much like my fried green tomatoes, and then I find a new copy and I just buy it. But it's an old reprint, 1960s reprint of Gone with the Wind. No dust jacket. This one actually was $4. They have an antique vintage books section and they vary in price. So this was one of the pricier books. I don't care that it's nothing special and that it has somebody's name in it. I just love this decollete edges and that it has blue. They need to start doing this again. And the last one I'll save for the next round of used bookstore because it's the same series, so we'll keep it together. So we'll put this on this stack and then go over here. This my friend gave to me. I haven't started it, so I don't know why I have a bookmark in it. Any Dream Will Do by Debbie McComber. I never know how to say her name. I've only read one of her books, and it was back in high school or college, and it was cute, but I don't remember much about it other than being friends, of which I think one was a nun. I could totally be mixing up a bunch of romance novels right now. I just don't read these, but a free book, yes, I'm going to take it, and I may enjoy it. I may find that I really like her writing style and just want to read. I know she's got a metric ton of books that I would never be able to catch up with, but that's fine. This one was just, I thought it was cute. Ginger Pie by Eleanor Estes. It's a little children's book. Apparently it was a Newbery Award winner, which generally I do well with. And, I mean, it's a dog book. I'm a cat person, but I just couldn't pass it up. And again, it's got pictures in it, so it'll be one of those really quick ones for me. And that segues me into the series that I got at the bookstore. So this is what I got at Scruffy City with the last haul. It's Clownfish Blues, which is, I think, last year's release, or very recent release in the series, 2017. So it was $3, and I thought I'm going to go ahead and get it since it's that cheap, because I don't think it's this cheap at this particular bookstore. My husband, these are not going to be in order, but my husband, when we went last time, just randomly picked this book up and was reading the back of it, and he's like, huh, that sounds pretty funny, or it sounds pretty like it'd be pretty good. And I was like, oh, yeah, whatever. So I read it, and I was like, yeah, should I get a couple of those? He goes, nah, just get the first one, see if you like it, and then we'll come back. Florida Roadkill by Tim Dorsey. Didn't know anything about it. I have never heard of him. And this first book, I was laughing, and he refuses to read it until I read the whole series. So there's like 21 books, and I'm on 4. So I gotta get going on this. But I'm telling him all these things, but I don't want to give it away. And I keep saying, just read the first book already. Just read the first book already. So there's that. The first 3 I actually know in order. The others are just going to be a hodgepodge. Hammerhead Ranch Motel. I read part of this while we were on a trip. Orange Crush, which if you have read the series or plan on reading the series, don't bother with this because it's filler. And the main character you only find out about the last portion of the book. It kind of makes sense, but honestly, doesn't even mention it in the next book in the series, which I'm reading now. So save your time, save your trouble. It has good reviews on Goodreads. It works as a standalone, but don't go into it thinking that it's going to add anything to the series. I just would skip it. Then, like I said, I'll just pick random ones. Atomic Lobster. And the series, I'll briefly say, so this is not long, takes place in Florida, and it's this crazy, I mean, he really is crazy. He's been in and out of institutions. This crazy man and his adventures with his crazy druggie friend and a stripper named Sharon. I kid you not. I mean, it's just hijinks and hilarity, and the things that are said have me in stitches. It's just one adventure after the next, and I did not think that I was going to like these, but this is what I need in my life for summer. Like, these are perfect. Again, Atomic Lobster. They have cute names. Cadillac Beach. The Big Bamboo. Nuclear Jellyfish. Hurricane Punch. Torpedo Juice, which it's fallen apart, but it was the cheaper copy. And Stingray Shuffle. And again, I'm weirdly reading them on ebook and keeping track in the physical copies. Those are the first 10, 11, 12. I don't know how many. And then, like I said, that one I found at the other bookstore. So I've got to go and get the other fill-ins. But I'm waiting. The bookstore I got these at has sales every so often. This week they're 25% off, so I'm hoping that soon they'll do a 50%, 40 or 50%, so that I can go in and get the rest of them so that I can have them all for my husband to read. These are from a thrift store, The Mountain Between Us, Charles Martin. I had never heard of this. Apparently it's a movie with Kate Winslet, and I never know how to say his name, Idris Elba, but I just messed that up. Idris Elba. I'm so awful with his name. Plane went down. They're the two trying to survive. I don't know why I have not gotten to this, because even though it's wintry, this will be a good quick summer read. Master of the Delta by Thomas H. Cook. Kind of a murder mystery in Mississippi in 1954. Those are the little blurbs that I found that I thought would be interesting. Clear Springs by Bobby Ann Mason. This one is just basically a memoir of a girl growing up in Kentucky in the 60s. I'm all about memoirs. Crooked Heart by Lissa Evans. This one, evacuated from London to escape the Nazi bombardment. A little 10-year-old boy ends up with 36-year-old widow. Blurbs again, Nazi, World War II. The last one I got is Sarah Vowell, Lafayette in the Somewhat United States. Historical, nonfiction. She always has humor, and she writes history. Funny. I recommend her. I've read a couple of her books, and I have so many on the TBR I need to get to. So I was totally tickled to get this one for $2. The others were $1. This one I honestly cannot remember. It's just a rando. If I had this in any of my previous book hauls, I probably did. And I don't remember where I got it. If I got it on Amazon, like Marketplace, or I don't know. But it's One True Love's Taylor Jenkins Reid. Apparently she is all the business right now, and I have still not read her. I am frustrated because the Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo that everybody is talking about. I swear, the wait list on that from the library is so long, but I'm so cheap right now that I can't fathom spending that much on one book when I can get a pile. So I'm being patient. In the meantime, I have this one. Again, I need to read it soon because it's summer read. Basically, pretty newlywed husband and wife get married. His plane crashes. He's in the military, and they think he's dead. So she moves on with her life and has a fiance. And then first husband pops up, like, "Hey, I'm not dead." So that will be interesting. And then if you hear any noise, my husband's coming upstairs, and he might bomb this video. The next ones we have, I got at a library book sale. My mom has been into Mary Higgins Clark, so I told her I would go and look for some. So I found just 3. And the first ones I have are Jewel by Brett Lott. Apparently this has been out forever and a day, and I'm just now getting to it. I tried to read the ebook from the library, and I was just not in the mood. And then Aztec by Gary Jennings, which is pretty beat up. And what I say, tome topple. The last one that's not going to be part of what I'm currently reading is, we went to Connecticut to a boat show, and they were having, of course me, you know me, they were having a library book sale across from the museum, oh jeez, I can't think of it. It's in Mystic, the Mystic Seaport Museum. And here is Tassie. He's holding her. She doesn't look very happy, does she? Okay. And I went, book sale, oh my gosh, and I got really excited. Well, apparently all the books there were nautical and maritime themed. I was like, well, I feel like I need to get something to kind of souvenir, and what better thing for me, the book nerd, is books. So the history of American sailing ships, which is just going to end up being a coffee table book. It is huge. Tome topple. It was $2, and it's like, how old is it? I think it's in the 30s. 1935. So it's, I mean, old $2 book. It has pretty pictures in it. I will likely never in my lifetime read this book because it sounds pretty dry, but I like that it will be a memory of that trip because we left, I kid you not, on a Friday at noon. Okay, I live in East Tennessee. Drove to, let's just say we left on noon on a Friday and got home around 1 o'clock on a Sunday to go to Mystic, Connecticut. From East Tennessee to Mystic, Connecticut. We slept in my Prius, showered at a truck stop. It was a very long trip for such a short amount of time, but it was amusing nonetheless. And the last one, since I'm almost way past where I should be, are the ones that I am currently reading. I'm reading 3. One is a buddy read with Patrice. It's The Rise and Fall of the Dinosaurs, A New History of a Lost World by Steve Broussard. I don't even know how I'm saying that correctly. We have read up to chapter 4, so it's about page 122. We don't have any timeline of when to have this finished. It's just a read as we may. And it's very interesting. This was one of the rare times that I said I was cheap and didn't want to buy the Evelyn Hugo, but I did spend like $19-20 on this one. I feel like I'm a little bit of a hypocrite. But we're reading that one. Like I said, I'm reading this one I didn't show in the collection. True Fish Twist. This is the 4th one in the Tim Dorsey Surge Storms long series. And then this one, I honestly could have sat and finished it in one sitting, but, you know, life and chores and errands and stuff. So Close to Being the Shit, Y'all Don't Even Know by Retta. I loved her on Parks and Rec. Treat yourself. And apparently if you say that to her in real life, it annoys the bejesus out of her. So if I ever meet her, I'll have to keep my mouth shut. But this is so good. It's funny. And there's one chapter devoted to I'm lazy, and there's stuff I'm just laughing at. because I'm going, okay, I see that. I think I'm probably guilty of that. So I am more than halfway through, and it's larger print, so I should finish it hopefully tomorrow. And that's it. That's all. And sad thing is, I'm contemplating going to another used bookstore on the way to my mom's because I have trade credit. I have no need to. Shouldn't. I'm almost positive I've talked myself out of it, especially being a Saturday in the summer. They're normally hugely busy, so don't know. Oh, I had one more. I don't remember if I had this one in a haul, and I'm mad I bent it when I was bringing it in here. It's fine. Meaty by Samantha Irby. I read We Are Never Meeting in Real Life earlier this year, and it was funny. So this had been out. This was her first book, and it had a different cover, but I wanted it to match my cute yellow one with the cat on it. So I was excited for this. That's it. I'm at like 21 minutes, and it's going to take forever to upload, and nobody is going to watch to this minute. And if you do, then you're a rock star. Tell me what you're reading, if you've read any of these, and which I should get to sooner than others in the stack and others that I have all around the house. But I'm done. Bye until next book haul.